Hello, I'm Chad Kraling, the Executive Chef here at the Orange County Costa Mesa Hilton. I'm here today to show off one of my many recipes offered right here down in your Bristol Palms restaurant bar located at the lobby level of your hotel. Please come down and join us. We'd love to see you. Today I'm going to be showing you how to prepare our awesome lobster tacos. This is one of our most popular Southern California coastal dishes. It's simple to make, it's healthy, and it tastes delicious. Now let's get started by taking a look at our ingredients. The first ingredient, of course, is our lobster meat. You can use whatever lobster meat you'd like, but we like to use a combination of slipper lobster meat and Maine lobster meat. You could even use crayfish if you wanted, or spiny lobster. The next ingredient is red onions. These are julienne, it's about 1/2 ounce. Then we use a little bit of shredded carrots, also about 1/2 ounce. Then some green onions, which are sliced thin for garnish. Chipotle salsa, which you can buy the smoked chipotles, add a little bit of water and puree them in a blender just so that they have a nice consistency so that you can squeeze them out. Then a little black pepper and of course our kosher salt. I like to use kosher salt. It's much easier to utilize in terms of the amount that you put in because you can kind of gauge it by feel as opposed to with the iodized salt, you tend to oversalt things a bit. Then we also have mango pico de gallo. The mango pico de gallo is very similar to a normal pico de gallo that you've had, I'm sure, at many places. The only difference is we take some of the tomatoes out and we add in some chopped mango and a touch more lime juice to that. Then we do lime wedges for garnish, shredded coleslaw mix, which is red cabbage and green cabbage. The only difference there is we slice it really, really thin so it doesn't have quite as much body to it. And then of course we like to use some shredded romaine. You can also use iceberg if you had that on hand, that would work nicely. And you also need to have a little bit of Chipotle Aoli. Now the Chipotle Aoli is basically just a mayonnaise with the Chipotle puree added in. And that's it for your ingredients. Okay, let's get started by sauteing up our lobster. First thing I do is I take some of my lobster meat, place it in a saute pan, add a touch of clarified butter to that, warm that up. In a separate saute pan, add butter once again, red onions, and shredded carrots. And the reason why I heat these up separately is because the lobster meat will cook a little bit quicker, and I want to make sure that they get completely cooked before I mix them into the lobster. Okay? So I've added a little bit of kosher salt into that, and I will also add a little bit of black pepper. That's necessary because I like to season things as I go. Don't season them at the end, season in each stage. So that also goes in. Okay, now that's all we do for the first part. As our lobster meat and our vegetables are cooking in the oven, what we want to do is we want to start warming up our corn tortillas, I'm sorry. Now the corn tortillas, as you can see, I'm using pretty small ones. I like these because it makes it much more of a bite-sized item. So you could use tortillas of this size, which would be fine, which are much more readily available at your local grocery store. So if you can't find these, don't despair. These 6 inches will work fine. So all you need to do is you can put them directly over a burner on your stove and just warm them up slightly and then wrap them up into a towel or a napkin so they stay nice and warm, and leave those to be reserved until you're getting done finishing off the rest of the taco mix, and then these will be placed into the taco. Okay, our tortillas are done, and our lobster meat and our vegetables are pretty much ready to go. So we're going to get those out of the oven, and then we're going to get started putting it together, okay? Here we go. As I said, lobster meat's nice and warm, sizzling. Place that down right there. Our vegetables, nice and hot and sizzling also, go right inside. So I'll give these a quick saute, and saute just in French means to jump. So we're jumping in our pan. A little bit of lemon juice right in top. and our Chipotle Aoli, or Chipotle sauce, I'm sorry, and flip that in. Make sure it's covered in there good. And I think I'm going to add just a touch more butter in there just to give it a little bit more liquid. And perhaps another lemon wedge. Okay, oh, that looks good. All right, so I'll put those back in, and then I'm going to throw this back in the oven, warm it up just a little bit. Okay, while that's warming up, my tortillas, I've just placed them in a pan. That's all you need to do just to warm them up. If you want, if you have an oven like this, you can do that. Or you can, as I said, you can heat them up on a burner. So I'm just going to leave these right in front of the oven, and they'll warm up just fine for us. Okay, so what I've done now is I've gotten our plate set up. So this is just basically for the garnish and setup. Take a little bit of that romaine lettuce that we talked about that you could use iceberg, slice very thinly, and this is our bed. Then I put 2 lime wedges, and then a nice little ramekin of the Pico de gallo, as I mentioned, the mango Pico de gallo. So that's all ready, set up, ready to go. So I'll place that right there. So this is going to be basically our canvas for our food. Okay, so now it's time to plate up our lobster tacos. Let's go ahead and do that. Remember I had those tortillas, so what we'll do now is we'll place these out. And you can make these in any number you want, but for us here at the hotel, we like to do it in batches of 5s and 3s. For some reason, odd numbers are more eye appealing, so that's why if you go into restaurants, you'll notice that most things come in odd numbers, because for whatever reason, the human mind seems to think it looks nicer. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of this cabbage, and that will go right inside the middle of the tortilla shell. Just a little bit, just to give it a little crunch when you bite into it. Okay, and our lobster meat is all ready to go, as you can see. And we just put a couple little bites in each one, right in the center. Now these would be great for parties too, if you did them at home, you had a dinner party, and as you can see, this is pretty much real time what you're seeing here. So there's very, very little prep time in terms of making these. Happens very quickly. So those are all ready. So I bring my plate back down here. And all I'll do is take them one at a time, kind of use them to lean up on each other, as you can see. Very simple, but very tasty too. Lime's in the way there. Okay, and they're all set. Now we're going to finish the plating by taking a little bit of our mango Pico de gallo, once again, and placing just a little bit right on the top. Okay, just like that. And then this is the Chipotle Aoli as a drizzle on top, as a garnish. And I always like to just give it just a touch more lemon juice right on top, just to finish it off. And voila, bon appetit, lobster tacos. Awesome, and you will love them. Once again, I'm Executive Chef Chad Kraling, and I want to thank you for joining us here at the Hilton Orange County Costa Mesa Hotel. Now, we hope you've enjoyed your time with us here in Southern California. Now, we know that you cannot take the sunshine and the salt air home with you, but you can take a recipe with you to share with your family and friends. If you'd like a copy of this recipe, please visit our website at www.hiltonorangecountycostamesa.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you real soon.